Hello there guys! Motorcycle roadbook navigation is super fun, and I'm here to guide you on what a roadbook is, how to use them, but most of all how to create them yourself and share it with your friends and make a small roadbook navigation event. So stay tuned for that. Have you ever written down a step-by-step road description for someone on a paper that needs to find the way? Go 1 kilometer in that direction, and by the house take a right turn and you'll see the lake, and then after another 500 meters there's a barn and take a left there. In that case you have already created a roadbook. So roadbooks are used in all the big rally events like the Car Rally and the African Eco Race, and also Hellas Rally, and you name it. All the rally raid events use roadbooks, but they use all these special equipment with rally towers and on their 450 enduro rally bikes, and it's really a sport. Let's take the roadbook navigation part, which is fun and challenging in itself, and bring that to us guys, the adventure riders who want to go on the gravel roads and whatever, and it's a great event to share with your friends and so on. And we don't want all that expensive equipment and all the necessary preparations to convert a bike to a rally bike. We want to use the least amount of preparations possible in order to get everyone in on it. So we're going to use mobile apps and some remotes of different kinds if you want to upgrade from there. So the roadbook itself is just a long paper with all the turn-by-turn instructions in a long line. And each instruction is divided into 3 parts. So first you have the distance, and then you have the visual representation of that intersection or whatever it is that's coming up, and that's called the tulip. And then you have a tulip description if that's an optional part. Normally you have this on a long paper that you roll up and then scroll physically on your bike manually or with a little motor. But in this case we're going to use a long PDF file instead and load that on the mobile device. And there's a lot of apps. We're going to look into that. So producing this roadbook, you can go about any way you want. You can take a paper and pen and go riding and write down the directions and the tulip and produce it that way. But I'm going to use a little simpler way and use some applications that are made for it, because it makes it so much easier. So first of all, we need the actual track that we're going to navigate and create the roadbook for. You may have some tracks already as GPX files that you want to use, or in this case I have created the route first on the computer. So I've used the Ride with GPS application. There are several, but that's one of them that you can use, and you sketch the route that you want to go. And that's good. You see a lot of details, and you can go down to street view and really have a look around and see already on the computer in some cases if you have any forbidden signs or gates or things like that. So what you get out of that is the sketched GPX file that you can load up on your navigator, and then you need to go ride it, because you don't know if what you made on the computer actually works in reality. So what I do then is I load it up, I hit record on my navigation app so that I record the track that I'm doing while testing. Now that we have that, let's take that recorded GPX, or if you already had a perfect GPX, that's great of course, and we head over to RallyNavigator. Okay, so we're in RallyNavigator, so let's click Create Roadbook.
So this is the workspace. You have the map on the left side, and on the right side we have the road book, the actual road book. So I can type a name there, Nomad Demo Rally. I click to import the GPX. As mentioned, they can be created from scratch in here also. It's just that the other one has some more details and other open source maps. So here we have just a small section of GPX that I imported, and we have start up here, and we have the finish down here. So it's 24 kilometers in this one. So we have the first tulip and the last one. Let's scroll in on the start. It starts here at this gas station, and we can see the dots. And I can actually fine tune these. I can move them around and yeah, delete them and so on and add new ones. First of all, we can start to edit the first one. Just click and open this tulip. Opens the editor, and we can, for instance, I use black lines for gravel roads and these roads for asphalt and tarmac. So I click that one, double click it also to set the type, and I can type something. Go towards exit of this gas station. So what happens then? Okay, I go out here, and here's a decision. I need to go left or right. So I will use this marker. I click that one, and it gets a point in it. So that means this is a tulip. So, and that gets added at 0.12, and that's a right turn. So now I open it and make someone who reads that tulip understand it. So I can, first of all, make it look a bit more like reality. So I add a branch here. I add a roundabout, and yeah, just make it look pretty much like it is there. So this is good enough. I continue, and then we just continue on the track. Oh, here's a right turn. So click a point here, and we can see a new tulip was added at 352. Open that one. And as you can see, the map scrolls really nice. I can see the road from the same direction as the rider. So I can see that the road continues ahead. So I add that branch up like this. There's a river there and a bridge over it. So after the turn, there's actually a bridge. So I add that one. So you just paint it so that someone can recognize themselves. And there's a house in the intersection also just before the turn. And yeah, looks good. I continue. One more. Let's go and do this turn also. And this is a neat feature because, okay, let's add a left here, open that one. The road continues straight ahead like so. But let's go down to Street View and see what really happens here. So this is the road we are riding on. Here we're going to make a left turn, and it goes on to gravel actually. So I click the black trail so I can see that it turns black. I use that at least personally for gravel roads. Then I understand if it's tarmac or gravel. And then we have a sign. I can add that sign here, and I can type what's on that sign if I want to make it easy for the rider. And it's nice to add details here that makes the rider secure that yes, this is the right place. And now I can leave this section here. And you get the point. You do that for the entire track, but also not only directions, but in this case, we have a farmyard that you're going through. So also add tulips if there's something to consider at a specific point. So you can add, for instance, some warnings. A warning mark here. If you add 3 warnings, you get a special red big box around this this tulip, and someone who reads it will it will get the attention. So, and here let's add some houses, and what's up here I can specify that farm, yard, kids, or something like that, and even add a slow marker here, like so. Let's close that one. So you can see we have a roadbook going on. So just go through and make the clicks on the markers where you think that someone would need the direction.
So once you have done the whole roadbook and you're happy with each instruction, then you can export it. And that's the good thing about digital roadbooking, because you don't have to print the long paper roll and things like that. You can just export it as a PDF file and use it in one of the apps that you can read from. And also RallyNavigator has its own reader app, so you can place that on your bike and use it without even printing or saving it as a PDF. So now that you have your roadbook loaded up on the bike, you need to go out and test it. While at the computer it may seem okay, but then you should really wear the goggles of someone who has never ridden it before and go out and, without using anything else, use the roadbook and navigate your track. All right, this is the place I have chosen for my starting point of the roadbook, and it's good because it has a fueling station, some refreshments, and most of all a big area here where we can sort of meet up with a lot of bikes. Okay, so I'm at the start. I have the tree where I want to start, because you have 2 decimals there, so that's 10 meters, so you want to start right and start your engines and let's go. So first of all we want to of course scroll down to the first tulip. So there we are at 0. We drive towards the exit, and at 013 it's a right onto road 44, and that's only 130 meters, so let's go. And the trip meters have started to roll, so here we want to do a right at 13, so we are here now. Good. And we can scroll down. So next is 3 kilometers and 51, 510 meters. That's a right turn, and just before a bridge and a house. Okay, we are coming in at, closing in on 351, so I'm getting ready to turn right. It's only short distance, 100 meters left. Blinking right, and here's the right turn. There's the house, there's a bridge, and 351 right. So I want to make sure when testing this roadbook now that the distances are correct, so they make sense, and that there are no hesitations on where to go. So right now it says FRO, follow the road. So I just followed this road until 6:52, and it's actually just continuing on the road, but there's a road coming from the left making. So 100 meters, and here it is. There's the building to the left, the road from the left, and I just continue right. So, and there should be a sign just to the right of the road pointing left. At 11, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here. Okie doke, let's hope the ice has melted away here. I have to check that first. And also you ride with a skeptical eye that if you don't have a tulip at the place and you think that there can be some misinterpretations here and they can take the wrong way or whatever, you stop the bike. I usually bring up my mobile phone and film the surroundings and make a voice memo.
Vid 31:23 sväng inte av höger mot VD, det är en korsning där.
And when you get back to RallyNavigator, you make those adjustments, and then we're done. We have our roadbook. So now you share the roadbook with your friends, and there are several ways to do that. You can use the RallyNavigator app and share it. If you have their emails and they have the app, you can just enter their emails and that they registered with, and they can access the roadbook from their apps. You can also export it as PDF, and any mobile app that can show a PDF can be used. And you also have other apps, roadbook readers. For instance, on iOS, you have the Rally Blitz app. And for Android, there's the Drive Mode dashboard. That's a good one. And some other. Just search for roadbook reader. Very important part of the app that you're using for navigating is that it must contain a trip meter that is based on GPS. That's the most reliable thing, because your entire track and roadbook is based on GPS data, and if they have a GPS trip meter, that's very beneficial, because like my Tenor, it has 10% off on the speedometer, and that goes for the trip meter as well. So the roadbook apps, they all have the trip meter and also a cap heading, the compass direction that you're going in, at least, because the important part there is that they are resettable and adjustable. Because let's say you come to a tulip at the perfect distance, then you go the wrong way. That trip meter will add distance that is wrong. So when you get back to the tulip that is correct, your trip meter is off. So what you need to do then is go back a few steps and set the trip meter to the same distance as the tulip, and then you can go about again. So you have the apps with the cap headings and the trip meter and everything, but still you have to use a screen compatible glove to scroll it. But there are remotes that you can use. Either you have the more sophisticated controllers, like I have the Carpe Iter controller, and that can be used for all kinds of applications and maps and zooming in and out and so on. But if you want a remote just to scroll and control the roadbook, there are actually, the apps are compatible with music player Bluetooth remotes. You can get one of those for 20 euros or something like that. And you can program them to have, for instance, next song is scroll roadbook down and previous song is scroll roadbook up, and you can use the volume for resetting the trip meter and things like that. So you can actually, with a very small budget, have a working roadbook navigation solution. Yeah, so I hope this got you started and try it out at least. It's make a trial account on Rally Roadbook, and it's a really fun application to use actually, and it's very alive. New things come to it all the time, and Mike at Rally Roadbook is very responsive and happy to help you out and take your feedback and apply it. So that's a great team there. So I hope you liked this little guide that I made and that it gets you going with roadbooks and at least try it out. And I'll see if I can find my way back without too much ice. It was a bit early to get out on the gravel roads, it seems. So, but at least I could dampen my abstinence from bike riding. So, ride safe, happy trails. See you in the next video. Bye bye.